Hello everyone, this is Poet Plays, and welcome back to Slay the Spire. In the last episode, our save file got corrupted. So let's just jump right into the game, and I'll show you where we left off. You didn't miss much. I was mainly going through Act 2, when our video recording stopped halfway, and we ended up stopping at this shop. So originally we were a lot further down, right? We stopped somewhere around in this area. And so now we are here. So you haven't missed much other than me getting this fossilized helix and this pair. And we still have quite some ways to go before we defeat the final boss. So in earnest, we didn't really miss much. Other than, you know, me and my 15 HP. It's a very precarious situation. But let's just see what we have at the shop. Because last episode we didn't check to see what we have. Okay, so let's see. We have electrodynamics. Channel 2 lightning, and lightning now hits all enemies. That sounds fantastic if we were playing a lightning deck, but we're not playing a lightning deck. We're playing a hybrid of both. Who knows? Maybe we could get that. We have Blizzard, which is interesting. Deal damage equal to 2 times the number of frost channeled with this combat to all enemies. So essentially, we would like to get this attack at the very end, which would be fantastic. Let's see. Like our deck so far is okay, but it hasn't really specialized in anything, which is a bit concerning. Dark Shackles is interesting. Enemy loses 15 strength this turn and it is exhausted. So that could really help us out in a pinch if the enemy gets too powerful, but nah, not really. Here's what I'm thinking. Pantograph sounds really nice for us to get. We have a bit of money, and I think it'd be really good because our hit points are really low. Potion Belt is kind of nice, but it only really helps us out in the long term, which we're not really looking out for right now. So we could get Pantograph, or we could get the membership part, right, which is 50% discount on all products, meaning that everything gets cheaper. But here's the catch, right? Okay, like relics become cheaper, but this helps us out in the long term. But we're already on Act 2. And how many times are we going to be able to go to the shop in Act 3? Maybe once. Twice at best. Once realistically. So I'm thinking the Pantograph is probably the most likely thing to help us out at this moment. So I'm going to buy the Pantograph. And then I'm going to get... I really want Electrodynamics, because lightning hitting all enemies is really good. And it's like channeling 2 lightning. So perhaps we could do that and then next time get rid of Zap, perhaps? Because Zap is only channel 1 lightning, and it's 1 energy. So I'm just thinking, or this could be the case where we have too many cards that are like 2 energy, which is also a bit concerning. You don't really have cards that are, how do I put it? You don't really have because I don't want too many high energy cards. Like that would be a bad thing. A really bad thing. But, and even if we got that power card, right, it's only used once, whereas for Zap we can keep using it, right? So I'm not sure whether it's a good decision, right, since our deck is already getting pretty sizable. Yeah, pretty sizable, because these 2 cards will be played, these 3 cards will probably play. Maybe Static Discharge wasn't the best option. I would have replaced Static Discharge with Electrodynamics, but we'll see. You know what? I'm just gonna pick up Electrodynamics. That's pretty nice. Plus, it gets not exhausted, but it gets consumed as a power card. So I think we'll be okay. So let's see. Let's go to this. Oh no! Oh dear. Okay. So it's this duo again. We keep meeting them, which is quite annoying to say the least. Let's see. We can play nearly all of these things, but I'm thinking we play Glacier and Cold Snap so we can channel Frost. I think we play Cold Snap first, and we kind of concentrate on this Mystic in order to fill up that orb slot, right? So when we channel 2 Frost, right, we also evoke this Lightning Orb, and hopefully it hits this guy. Otherwise we're in a bit of a pickle, but that's fine. Okay, so we do have enough block, which is really nice. Maybe I had too much block, but that's okay. I'm gonna play Static Discharge because we have just enough block, And maybe I should have played that first because it's a power card, because I keep forgetting we have this mummified hand, but whatever, it's fine. Clumsy gets exhausted, and we're good. That was the only curse card in our deck, which we recall we got from using the calling bell. Which I feel we got the better end of the deal because we only had 2 clumsy and then 1 injured, which is pretty good. Let's see. I don't want to use the defend. We only can play 4 cards because recursion is 0. So we can evoke and we can kind of like cycle through it. Maybe that's not really the most effective thing to do. You know what? I'm just gonna play defragment first, because that's good. It's a power card. Let's play loop because that's also a power card. So both these are free. Let's just focus on that because the mystic buffed for strength, which is a bit concerning. We might as well just play recursion because we can. Too bad we don't have that silent card, which allows us to keep our block for next turn, because that was really nice. Oh, so let's see. So they really do help each other out, and that's not good. Not good at all. I'm thinking 16 damage, right? So if we evoke one of our frost cards, our frost orbs, right, we'll still gain enough block to block this. Yeah, we'll still gain enough block to block this guy's damage. But looks like going after the mystic is a bit of an issue now. Yeah, so how about we go sweeping beam, right? The nunchaku is nice. Oh, and then we can zap, and then yeah, you know what? Let's go lightning. Right? So we trigger all that block. We could zap again, and we know that I mean, Glacier, we already played Glacier. It's not coming up until later on. And I'm hesitant to play another zap card simply because we need these frost. We need this frost. So let's just strike normally. Yeah. So now the mystic's about maybe like half health. Yeah, about half health. I bet she's gonna heal. Yeah, she's gonna heal, which is a bit bad. Yeah, this is not going out the way I thought it would. It's not good. We could go electrodynamics and then evoke these, because we evoke both of them. We will gain 14 block. 14 plus 8 gives us 22, and that will only take 6 damage, which is not too bad though. So let's play electrodynamics. This is great for our streamline, because now it's 0, so that was a good chance with our, what do you call it? Withered hand, was it? Yeah, mummified hand. So that was a good thing. So we'll do that, and then we'll strike, and hopefully we'll have enough. And that's nice, electrodynamics coming in hot. And now this mystic is gonna die next turn. And we're gonna take 6 damage, which is not great, but we had that, we have the fossilized helix, which is real good. It prevented us from losing health. So that's pretty fantastic. So here's the interesting thing, right? We could just discharge all of these, right? We could evoke all of these and we would deal like 30 damage, which is fantastic. But I'm not sure whether that is the right option though. Because look at that, we could either deal 30 damage now or deal 15, maybe like 3 times. Like it's either like 3 turns from now that we kill him, 2 or 3 turns from now where we kill him. Or we could kill him and also that same time, but then gain block. I think that's the better option. Let's cold snap and deal some damage. Then we shall glacier and then trigger both of these. And there we go. So now we only have to deal 17 damage. So that's good because he's blocking next turn, and so all that lightning will be blocked by his blocking. Okay, so we're getting 8. You have 8. Block. At the end of the turn we'll gain enough to block his attack. Let's just use I'm going to ball lightning first. Yeah, so we get that, and then I'm going to use recursion, so we cycle through, right, and then shift this lightning orb further down, so in case we need it we have it. He's gonna strike, so yeah, in about 2 or 3 turns from last turn, right, we will be able to kill this guy. So this is cool. It's a good thing that we have Looper with this block, which is nice. And Streamline, there you go, he's dead. So whew, that would have been bad if we didn't have that fossilized helix. That came in pretty clutch. So we have the skill potion. Don't know whether that's good or not, but we'll see. I don't think I'll pick any of these cards. They're all good, don't get me wrong, right? But we already have a recursion, so we don't really want to have too many of these. Cool-headed is nice, but it's only drawing 2 cards, and I'm not really stoked about that. Stack is weird because if you don't have a lot of cards in your discard pile, you don't get any block. So that's weird. I'm thinking we go to the campfire, the rest site, and we just play it safe. We heal a lot of HP, which is really good. So let's do that. Let's rest here. We get a lot of HP back, 58 HP. And I know from the pentagram, when we enter the boss fight, we'll heal 25. So we will go up to 70, 83, which is interesting. Like, it's either we go all the way max health, or we just stick, because we can toke at rest sites, right? And we can get rid of this clumsy, which I'm like leaning towards now that we're in a better situation for health. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm very about it because I want full HP. So here we go, our incense burner kicking in, real nice, real good. Let's just use electrodynamics now, because that's good. Glacier is now 0 energy, which is real nice. We could dual cast. Let's see, let's do the damage calculation, because we can deal 16, and then if we play Glacier, we will trigger another. If we do Glacier, we will trigger 16, and then dual cast another 16, which is 32. Or we can dual cast first, deal that 16, but then only trigger evoke another orb. So yeah, let's Glacier first. So we evoke all that lightning, and then we'll dual cast again. So we'll deal another 16 damage, which is 32, and then we'll just strike because we have enough block from our anchor, and we have that intangible affecting us right now. So this snake plant can't touch us. So that was a good first turn. I'm wondering what the next turn is going to bring us. 21 damage. That is not fantastic. Well, we have this in buffer, so we could ignore it and just go for the damage, which I'm not averse to. We could. Yeah, we're not going to receive damage. Attack damage to this turn because of the buffer, so playing static discharge may not be the best option. I'm going to do that and then just strike and then strike again. Really paltry damage, but that's fine, I guess. You only need to deal 25 more damage, and if we get streamlined in the next hand, we'll be good. So yeah, so buffer. Oh no, yeah, I forgot about that. Right. So buffer only prevents the first time you get dealt damage. So forgot about it. Ugh. Okay, well, let's loop. That's better. It's also a power card. So that mummified hand coming in really well. We can zap because we don't really need this block, and we need more damage. We can sweeping beam, see what kind of card we draw. Hopefully it's not. Yeah, hopefully it's not streamlined, because that would suck. And then we'll strike. So now we only have to deal 16 damage, and if we draw streamline, that's it. It's just dead. This snake plant is just dead. So yeah, I need to remember that fossilized helix is the first time you would lose HP, so attacks like this, right, mean that it'll only absorb like say 7 damage. So I need to be careful about that. Okay, so we get liquid bronze, we're refilling our potion slots, and then now we have these things. We have capacitor, scrape, deal 7 damage and draw 3 cards, but then discard all the cards drawn this way to do not cost 0 energy. So that is a card that's really effective if you're using a 0 energy deck. Force Field is interesting, costs 1 less energy for each power card played this combat, and gain 16 block. So the best case scenario is that we play Loop, we play Defragment, we play Static Discharge, we play Electrodynamics, all before we play Force Field, and that means Force Field will cost 0 energy. But that's the catch, right? If you draw it on the first turn, Force Field is basically useless because we can only play that. I don't want to play Capacitor because that's gaining 2 orb slots, and I like the 3 as it is. If we gain too many orb slots, then what happens is that we need to cycle through our orbs more often, and it becomes harder for us to trigger them, to evoke them. It requires more effort. So I'm not that stoked about it. I'm potentially considering Force Field. That's like a nice 16 block, but it is dependent on us playing as many power cards as we can. But we do have the Mummified Hand, which if we draw it does help us out a little, I think, if we get lucky and the Mummified Hand affects force fields. So Yeah, I'm not sure because our deck is getting really big. And one of the reasons why we got destroyed in our Ironclad playthrough by the woke bloke is because our deck was way too big. It was like 30 cards or something. So that was bad. If we go in, if you don't heal next combat, we're only going in with 69 health, which is not fantastic. It's only like a third of our health. So not cool. You know what? Let's just get force fields. I think that's interesting. It could prove useful. Let's go to this rest site. So yeah, we could heal. So that's 28 plus 15, which is 30, 42, and that would essentially, and if we enter the boss combat, we will be up to full health. So that would be the safest option. We could toke to get rid of the clumsy, but I'm not that stoked about doing that. It's a nice to have, but we don't really need to do that. Smithing wise, I'm like, if we upgrade electrodynamics as channel 3 lightning, I'm not that stoked about it. Or static discharge channel 2 lightning. Just so you can see it, right? Like, we having this lightning is really nice to have, but not really necessary. I mean, how do I put it? Because we are a hybrid deck of Frost and Glacier, it's really hard to, like, I guess, play very well, to like lean and develop your deck to either utilize Frost or Lightning. But we'll see how it goes. Which brings us to our question of the day. How do you play the defect? You can put your answer down in the comment section below. I think to me, I always liked playing lightning orbs as the defect. Just trying to use as many cards as possible to increase our orb slot capacity in order to evoke as many lightning orbs as possible so you can deal the most amount of passive damage. That was me. But I'm seeing the value of having cards that use block. I'm really seeing the value of doing that now. So, you know what? Let's go to the safe option. Let's heal. I'm pretty sure our deck is pretty good. Or at least not, I mean, if not pretty good, at least good enough. We'll heal because we got that pentagram. We got the fossilized helix. So we're good. This guy's not dealing damage the first time, so let's just strike. I'd rather not dual cast right now because, well, we could dual cast right now, but it depends on what energy we get. I don't know, if we draw electrodynamics, it doesn't really matter. So let's just defend and let's just dual cast for more damage. Yeah, because dealing damage to the collector in the beginning is really good. He's gonna bring out his minions. And his minions, unlike the bronze automaton, they don't steal anything, but they have more HP and they deal damage, and it's not fantastic. We could electrodynamics and then we could defragment, which is really nice for his minions in this case. The thing is that he's got to deal a ton of damage to us, so maybe what we do is that we drink this skill potion, see what we get. Yeah, because recursion is useful, but because we don't have any orbs that are channeled right now, it's not going to help us. Defragment is really nice though, so I'm thinking, because we can't play everything, right? We can't channel 3 lightning without, and I want this focus. It's really good. So I'm going to go electrodynamics first, and you trigger that mummified hand. So ball lightning is now 0, which is really good. Let's see, strike will probably become 0 once we play defragment, which is what I forgot about. Forgot about the mummified hand, so all our thinking actually doesn't really matter. And that's ball lightning. Let's just use recursion, so 5 damage, gonna strike all enemies, which is real nice. And we'll go here, and I'm thinking we drink this skill potion, see what we get. Gain energy for every 6 cards in your draw pile. But you have no more cards to draw. Yeah, let's just get aggregate and then just gain energy, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes with the match, because right now we have no block and we will gain, I think, 25 damage because of our buffer. So that's not too bad. We'll still we'll go back to 70 health. But look at that, that's just beautiful, isn't it? So next turn, these guys will definitely die, right? Because lightning affects all of these equally. So we can concentrate on the collector next turn. So then we have this intangible, which is real nice. We have force fields, so that was good. That was a good time to draw force fields. We can always do static discharge, which is real nice. And now something costs 0, so that's defense. So now we can't absorb any damage. Yeah, as in like we won't take any damage, sorry. Force field is interesting, but I don't want to cold snap because there's no point in doing that. I want to keep our lightning orbs with us. So let's just force fields just cause, and then we'll not play cold snap because I want to keep this lightning with us. So yeah. So I think that's why our deck is pretty good in the sense that we can alternate. There are options for us. We can alternate between lightning and block, which is really good. So look at that. It's going to inflict a negative attack on us. We glacier, not really. I would like to then zap and then channel lightning. No, like yeah, it's just zap and then streamline. So that's good. That is really good. So what are then our next two cards? Loop and Sweeping Beam. That is really good because we'll be dealing lots of damage to anyone. He's gonna what? You are mine. Do you tend to collect? Oh, look at that animation. Oh. What's not so great is the frail and vulnerable. He just inflicted upon us, but he's summoning more minions, which I am cool with. I am cool with that. We got loop, and I think we played all our power cards now. Let's streamline. Do more damage. And then we'll deal tons of damage. So this is what I like about lightning, or actually just using orbs in general for the defect, because being frail or being vulnerable or weakened does not affect this, which is real nice. Oh, but look at all this damage. 51. We can survive this, but it's not looking great for us. Let's just use recursion, so we can deal 5 damage to all of them. We can zap and then deal 10 damage to all of them. And then I think we defend for the rest of it, I think. Yeah, because oh no, yep, that's fine, that's fine. But because of our frail, it's not looking great for us. We might have to use our glacier. If force fields come up next turn, that would be great. Because here's the thing, right? Because of our lightning and because we have that because we drew focus so early, is really good because these minions are just gonna die before they attack. But the collector is gonna deal that 31 damage to us, which I am not stoked about. I'm thinking we just defend because dual casting is a bit. I'm a bit iffy about dual casting right now. Because we could draw ball lightning next turn, but I'm like, eh. Drawing aggregate is actually really bad because we won't gain any energy. Because we're drawing it last. Dual cast. If we dual cast now, these guys will definitely die, and then he'll be dealt 20 damage. And then if we draw ball lightning, we'll be fine. Actually, I think I'll do that. Because blocking 6 damage is not fantastic, really. But then again, these guys will die. Yeah, let's just defend. There's no need to dual cast. Because when you end the turn, these guys are gonna die. Yeah, and he just gets dealt 15 damage instead of the 20. I'm okay with that trade-off. And look at that. Static discharge coming in hot, which is real good. And then dual cast, well not dual cast, but loop is really nice. So here we go. So he's not attacking this turn, so we go all out and attack him back. Next turn, our frail, vulnerable, and weakened all wear off, which is fine. So that was good. Like drawing aggregate then is not fantastic, but it's okay. So yeah, so this is where you see, right? So I think having that what do you call it? Not static discharge, but electro was really, really nice. So that's force field because now it's free. So force field is really nice once we cycle through our deck once. Let's ball lightning because then we will also evoke a lightning orb. Let's see. Did we just draw a card because of what was it? Nunchaku? No, it's just energy. We can strike and then let's just kill him now. So yeah, I thought this fight was gonna be a lot harder than I thought it went. Oh, look at that! I didn't notice he's sitting on the throne. That's a bird. He's a collector, but maybe he serves the cultist, the bird cultist. Who knows? So we get a ton of gold. We get to add good cards into our hand. We can add another electrodynamics, but I'm not too stoked about that. We have multicast. Evoke your next orb, energy plus 1 times. So imagine this, right? We have focus. Our orb deals 5 damage passively. When we evoke it, it deals 10 damage. So what happens is that we draw this multicast on the first turn. We start up with 4 energy. We evoke the orb 5 times. We deal 50 damage. And then we have electrodynamics, right? So 50 damage to all enemies. Multicast, OP. I think we'll get this. I might be asking for it, but let's just see. We have electrodynamics 1, 2, 3, 4, and is that all? Is that all the power cards that we have? Let's see. Yeah, we have Loop, we have Static Discharge, Defragment, and Electrodynamics. So that's 4. And then Clumsy is 5. Like, they will all disappear when we cycle through our deck once. So that means we have 22 minus 5 gives us 17 cards. So that's actually not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So if you get multicast, that's not a bad thing. I don't really want to get Electrodynamics again, because Lightning now hits all enemies and channels 2 Lightning. I mean, having power cards is nice because of the Mummified Hand, so I wouldn't mind getting this, but multicast sounds really, really good for us. Right? Like, that proposed scenario. Then, like, the best case scenario. Rainbow is interesting, but not, I don't really want it because we channel Dark, and our deck isn't really a deck to use Dark with. So let's see, I think I'm gonna go Electrodynamics. Lightning now hits all enemies. No, multicast. I can't decide. Like, Electrodynamics is so good. Like, if I was playing an all Lightning deck, I would totally get Electrodynamics. But if I get Electrodynamics again, right, then it's redundant. I'll only be channeling 2 Lightning for 2 energy, which is not the best of deals if I already have Electrodynamics, because we only really want it for Lightning now hits all enemies. So we're getting multicast. That is the smart decision. And let's see what we have in this boss chest. Okay, Philosopher's Stone. We gain more energy, so that's 4 energy each turn, but all enemies start with 1 strength. So that's interesting. Can we kill them faster than they can inflict damage on us? We have Coffee Dripper. More energy but cannot rest at rest sites. That is terrible. I'm not picking that card. I'm not picking this relic. Like, you have to be super confident that you can heal, and I'm not confident about it. We can get the white beast statue, right? So potions always appear in combat rewards. Is this like a white elephant? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, I'm not really cool with the Philosopher's Stone because it enables our enemies. I don't like that. But having more energy is always nice. But because of that Mummified Hand, right? The first time when we cycle through the deck, right? Because when we cycle through our deck the first time, that Mummified Hand really helps us with the cards that are 2 energy, that cost more. Because the Mummified Hand could potentially reduce up to 0 energy. And by the time we cycle through, right, Streamline becomes 0 energy, Force Field becomes 0 energy, and then the only energy card that's like super expensive would be Glacier. But then because we're in the second round of using our deck, we have enough energy to play Glacier. So having the Philosopher's Stone is nice and all, but not really necessary. I think I'll just go with the White Beast statue. I think that's the best. I realized we didn't read the description for these. Let's read the description. Pantograph. Solid foundations are not accidental. Tools for planning are a must. The Architect. Ooh, that's cool. Did the Architect build the Spire? That's interesting. It's cool, right? Like the Spire, like Act 2, right, seems to be filled with more inhabitants. Like Act 1 is like the basement level of the Spire. White Beast statue. A small white statue of a creature you've never seen before. It kind of looks like an elephant, but like a sort of like perverted version of an elephant, maybe. And I think we'll just take a break here. Oh man, I did not expect that boss fight to go so well. I'm like, whew, it's amazing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my playthrough of the Defect in Slay the Spire. Tune in and see whether we survive the ordeals of Act 3 in the next episode. Ring that notification bell if you want to find out as soon as that video drops. My name is Poet Plays, and until next time, stay safe.